What's going on, everyone? Welcome to QVO Games. My name is Juan. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. This video is going to be at the Gamescom until the week of June 18th. We have a great lineup of games. Some of these games are already released, and some of these games are going to be talked about, I think, for a very long time. One of these games specifically, I think, is going to be really popular for a while, and I played it. I think it's a great game, actually. I really enjoyed it, with some caveats, of course. Let's get this video going. Keep in mind, I'm covering the games coming retail in the US. Some of these games may have already released in other regions of the world. Just keep that in mind. Also, if there is a change to a release date in a game, I will make sure to update you of that game's change release date in its respective video. Let's get these games showcased. First things first. Coming out, this game's actually already out. It's a special announcement. It's going to be Marvel Zombies, a Zombicide game. This game is already being seen on Amazon. Different stores have it as well. I kind of looked it up online before because I saw it. I saw the copy on like a store shelf, and I was really surprised. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Kickstarter backers haven't received their games. Yeah, well, at least I haven't. I don't know if others have. And I saw this and I was thinking, well, maybe I should cover it and talk about it just in case someone who didn't back the Kickstarter can pick up an early copy. Marvel Zombies is going to be a Zombicide style game where you're playing as zombies from the Marvel universe, right? There is a specific episode on the What If series on Disney Plus that kind of goes over a little bit and has a little bit like a segment you can watch it and kind of see a little bit of the action. However, there was a comic book series where Marvel superheroes turn into zombies. There's a zombie apocalypse in the Marvel universe. And basically those heroes have a mission. It's to eat people, world domination almost essentially. And it's a war between the zombicide, like the zombified heroes, and the regular superheroes. In this game, you're basically playing a zombicide game. There's dice chucking going from board to board, different scenarios, and you're playing as the zombies against the regular shield agents who are humans and also the heroes. That's kind of the gist of it. If you played Zombicide before, it's a dice checker. It's a fun game. I actually own a copy. Should be back here somewhere, I believe. And it's I like the game. It's fun. It replaced all of my other Zombicide. I had like 4 other copies of Zombicide, and I sold all of them and just kept this one. I think just one is enough, especially with all the Kickstarter stuff coming in eventually when I get my copy in. It's going to be more than enough. And this is going to be Marvel Zombies, Zombicide style game, just with the Marvel kind of theme put on top of it. Still a cool game. It plays pretty similarly, and I still enjoy it. Coming up next, another special announcement is going to be Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance. So the thing about this game as well is that you can actually find stores with this game. I actually saw this on Barnes and Noble store shelves, and I was really surprised. I'm like, well, I don't have my copy, but typical Simon fashion, they always release their games to retail and then eventually they're backwards after. It's nothing new. Honestly, you should expect it now if you back their games. It's just it is what it is. In Heroes Resistance, now you are playing as the superheroes, not the zombie ones, the regular superheroes, versus the zombies, like versus the Marvel zombies, essentially. So it kind of switches the roles a little bit. If you like that, if you like playing more as like the heroes versus the zombies, pick up this one. If you like playing the zombies versus you want to play as the zombies, pick up the other one. Pick up both if you want to play both. I'm own both. I enjoy it. Like I said, the game is fun enough. I already have my base copy, which is the other one, which that came first for backers. Which is the original one, basically, not this not the one where you play as heroes. And I enjoy it. I love it. It replaced all my Zombicides. I called it a day, and I said I have one Zombicide game, and this is going to be my only Zombicide game. Unless they release another Marvel one. That's going to be a different story. This is already out. You look for it. It's on Amazon. Barnes & Noble has it. I've seen it everywhere. So look for this game, and I'll re-announce it when it gets an official retail release date. It's not just kind of like under the water, under the table, but it's out in stores. So check it out. Coming up next, that's already out as well, is going to be Unmatched Brains and Brawn. So Unmatched, I honestly thought it was going to come out in August, like as a street date, and it still is, and I'll kind of go over it as well then. But for now, Unmatched, Marvel Brains and Brawn, that's Unmatched, is going to include 3 new heroes, and you can buy it direct through Restoration Games website. Comes with 3 promo cards. That's really cool. I really like special cards, especially Spider-Man's like my favorite superhero as well. And this is gonna be just an Unmatched dueling card game system. If you haven't played Unmatched before, it's really straightforward, and I really enjoy the system they have here when you play the games. You're gonna have a board, and I think they have some great pictures. I hope they have pictures of the minis too. Great card, great artwork. That's beautiful. Doctor Strange miniature, She-Hulk, and Spider-Man. They don't have a picture of the board, but there you go. Cool. So you have a board, you have miniatures, your miniatures go on the board, and there's spaces on the board that determine different locations, and there's different special abilities and such, and things and items you can pick up depending on the board. When you're playing the game, you're going to have your cards, and your cards have special abilities. You're going to put it down, and you're each going to put it at the same time and flip it over. You each have different effects, either attack, defend, activate an ability, do X, draw 3 cards, move away, attack. It depends on the character, and they do cater to the characters themselves and try to make them as close as possible to like the when you're playing, you kind of feel as the specific characters. Haven't played these 3 characters, I can't really talk about, but I do have the previous versions, and I think it's pretty respective to how the characters feel or would fight in a comic book. You feel like you truly feel that in the cards. I really, really want to cover this game and cover other ones from the Unmatched series because I think the system is really well done and I really enjoy it myself. So this is going to be Unmatched, Brains and Bronze. It's going to, if you play it Unmatched, you just now have Marvel characters. I'm a big fan. I love it. This is going to be already out. You can buy this directly through the Restoration Games website. Coming up next, it's going to come out on June 23rd, and this is the big one, The Witcher Old World. The Witcher Old World is a game well, the game itself is being pushed a lot by CD Projekt Red, and it's Go On Board, who is actually kind of made the board game essentially in collaboration with CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red owns the IP, Go On Board made the game itself. The Witcher Old World, I got to play this game. It's a pretty neat game. I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was great. One thing though, I do not believe this game should be played without a specific expansion, and I'll go over a little more later, but let's talk about the game first. In the game, you're playing as the Witchers. You're playing as the Witchers, and they all have their respective schools where they kind of, trained and such and studied, and they go off on an adventure. You're traveling an adventure. You are upping your skills, trying to maximize them. You're defeating either other Witchers or defeating beasts or monsters you find within the realm. And that's how you win the game. You have to get down 4 trophies, and you do that either by meditating your skills, which is maxing them out, and then meditating, which gets you a trophy, defeating another Witcher, or going off and defeating a monster. The monsters themselves, like fighting the monsters, is really straightforward. I mean, you're going to be one of the those are the coolest things about this game that I like a lot is the card combos. So you gotta have these synergies with your cards that you have that activate different combos as you play them down. And I thought that was really cool. It has a little bit of a deck building. It's deck building, and you're building out these decks. And with the decks, you're going to combo as many cards as possible, having the best synergy as you can. Really, really neat system. I really, really enjoyed that. I thought the card play is like the meat and potatoes. It was really cool. I liked it a lot. In the game itself, your goal is to get these trophies, and it's by defeating monsters. However, defeating the monsters, I feel this is where like the kind of the thing comes. If you buy just the base game, I think it can be very simple. It can like lack something for me, and I don't know if maybe it's because I am I'm not the average board gamer. Like I play a lot of board games constantly. I guess I play more than the normal person for sure, and I thought it was very. If I did not have the monsters having special abilities as well as some like different ways to activate, I think the killing the monsters would have been very bland and boring and easy. It would have been too easy and quick. Like it really is. I mean, you go off around the board, meditate your skills, and then go off and kill a monster. You win the game, or meditate your skills, fight a Witcher, win the game. It's not that easy, of course, because if your other opponents are also very well versed and they have great combos with their cards and synergies, I mean, it's not that easy to kill another Witcher. It depends on who you're playing with, and if you're the power gamer in your group, then it might be you who like just dominates. It can definitely be that way. However, when you're playing with when you know enough on how to play the game, yeah, you can be different very much. I want to go over a little more like the base game is great. I really enjoy it, but the expansions I think is what makes the game. I personally, in my opinion so far, I would not play this game without an expansion. Without the expansions, I think the game is far too simple and lacks depth for me without them. And let me go over that with you, some expansions with you now. One of the expansions I think you have to play this game is going to be the Witcher Old World Monster Trails. This is the one that adds like special abilities to the monsters and adds a little more depth to them. They're not just so simple where you go in and match a number and win the game, right? Or like match a specific number of cards. It does make them more difficult, which I think is necessary for this game. I really do think so. If you get this game, get the Monster Trail expansion as well. I think this makes the game so much more better for me, and I really, really enjoy it. I really, really enjoy with this expansion. The only issue is, and I want to talk about this, is that I don't think that's out yet, and I don't know where to find it at the moment. However, there's going to be some other expansions I think are great as well, and they add some more depth to the game that I think are necessary. The Witcher Scourge expansion is going to add like another section out of the board, as well as some ships you get to travel on and some more monsters you add in. It adds a whole other section to the board, makes it bigger, which I think is great. I compared this game to like Western Legends, and I feel like with the expansions, it's starting to turn into that. In a different theme, different format, a little different. There's different ways. Of course, the way is to get trophies. That's how you win. It's not really like a point system like in Western Legends, but you are going around an open board and you're doing different things and such and trying to accomplish your goal, which is either meditating or doing X, right? And you do that differently, but depending on how that goes for you and your adventures. You have event cards that you pull into and story cards that activate different quests and scenarios, and they are great because it adds variability, and some of them are really cool. Like they activate some really fun stuff. For example, I got to have a companion, which was neat, and I don't think anyone else who I played with had a companion at that point. And that could have just, it was random depending on the cards you play. This is going to add a whole new board section as well as some ships, which I think are great. The next one's going to be the Mages expansion. So if you don't want to play as the Witch, you want to play as the Mages, you add some different characters to your game. And the games and the characters themselves, they play differently, and as well as have their own section on the board, like their own market to buy cards. Their mage cards, like spells and such. And that's pretty interesting. It adds like another set of things to do. You don't have to play the Witch, you can also play the Mages. And as well as having your own board and market to buy from. That's a great, I really enjoy that as well about this expansion. These are going to be, so additional dice. These are also coming out as well. I mean, they're just simple dice. There's more I want to say, but I'm going to save that for a review video, and we'll talk about that at a different time, but some more dice you can buy. The Witcher Legendary Hunt. I think if you can't find the Wild Hunt, find this one. Legendary Hunt expansion. This one, it adds 7 huge monsters, and as well as those monsters, depending on which one you pull, is going to be roaming the continent, doing different things, activating events. This adds some more depth to the game, which I appreciate. It makes it a little bit harder. Depending on the monster you pull, they do different things, and they're a little more asymmetric. If not the other one, which I mentioned, is going to be this Monster Trail, try to pick up Legendary Hunt. I think this one and your base game, I would pick a deluxe, just because, I mean, I love deluxified games. Those two together would give you enough depth, I think, to make the game a little bit better, in my personal opinion. I will be picking up the base game when it's coming out to retail. I'll be picking up a copy because I did enjoy the game a lot, and I really want to have my own copy, and I want to cover it on the channel really bad because I enjoyed it, and I want to kind of critique it a little more as well because I did have my doubts about it. The Witch Legendary Hunt is going to add in some more like a roaming monster, and I think that would be excellent for the game without not just the base. And metal coins. Who doesn't love metal coins? I enjoy metal coins. I love my deluxified components a lot. So that's going to be the Witcher. Just basically what I'm trying to wrap it up with the Witcher really fast. Base game and maybe the Legendary Hunt expansion, or find the Monster Trail expansion. That was great. Those two things did a phenomenal job for me. I loved it. Find those two. And we are at the end of the video. Thank you for watching the video. This is a little more like, I did a little more reviewing and like kind of critiquing what's coming out for like the Witcher thing, only because I feel, and I already have gotten a little bit, some of you guys have actually commented and talked about the way you guys don't like the game. It made my most anticipated games list. And it was it made my top 5, and that's pretty high because I'm excited about all games, and it was really difficult to rank the top 5. Those are all really close. I mean, extremely close, because I am always excited for new games. However, it did make it. It did make my list, and I whittled it down. It's definitely my number 2 game. Might be wrong there. I might have forgotten already, which is kind of I just so much going through my mind because there's some other stuff I'm gonna shoot. However, I will be at Origins. I would be at Origins. I'm gonna be at Origins, and I would love to see you. If you see me, just say hi, salute, something. I would love to say hi. I play a game. That's the whole point of Origins, and I'll be there. So please say hi and drop me a line, and I would love to talk to you or something along those lines. Let me know. I would love to do that. And thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it. Have a good one.